gonna wait for this wonderful sound to come. Cool. Alright, hey, what's up, everybody? I just had a major coughing fit. But, it's all good. Anyways, this is Healing Sound of the People, the practice sessions. My name is Dorian Wallace. I'm a composer, piano player, music therapist, and teacher. I don't know. I teach sometimes. But anyways, I've partnered with Rope It Up to bring a series of online concert/panels in preparation for my upcoming album and simultaneous book release, Healing Sound of the People. And it is using the Eightfold Wheel of the Year, or the Druidic tradition, as a guide. I bring on different guests every episode to discuss a specific topic while developing a musical vocabulary around the various socialist and protest songs used. We have done 3 episodes thus far. The next one, I really should have that name right away, but anyways, it's coming up. I'll give it the date, but we've done 3 thus far and are continuing approximately every 6 weeks. So subscribe to Rope It Up's YouTube channel to learn more, and I can put the YouTube channel in the chat. I'll do that. But anyways, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I stream my practice sessions via Twitch, where I explore and develop the musical vocabulary for Healing Sound of the People for the album. I am working through I'm working through the material for each upcoming episode in a free and open manner. So I'm getting to know the harmonic structure of each song, the melody, some rhythmic and ideological framework to deepen the level, historical understanding, all these sorts of things. And so approximately every 2 weeks, I am going to be adding and working through content covering the material for Healing Sound of the People, my book, and it's on Substack. Cool. And in the comments, I'm going to include, that's what I'll do. I will include the blog post down under in the chat, and that should actually be good enough. Alright? Groovy. Cool. I've been out for a minute. Partially it's hard to get regular work going, and I'm actually working with my wife to make sure my schedule is more consistent. Because it's a big thing to keep this kind of work regular. And with all of that to say, sorry, this is going in the chat. Boom, bada bing. Okay, and watch. In the chat. Boom. Cool. Okay, off the phone now. Anyways, I was in Louisville working with Nicholas Finch and the Nulu Chamber Ensemble, which is a contemporary ensemble based in Nulu, and they were doing a concert / recording session. We were working with the phenomenal producer Teresa Leonard, recording engineer Michael Culler, and it was a really good group. The piece is a cello concerto. It's called Manusa. Manusa is the Bengali word for human, and it was written as an elegy to various secular free speech bloggers who were murdered by ideological, dogmatic, religious extremists. And these murders took place, I think, between 2013 and 2016. And so that's what the piece is using as its foundational text. And I met with a couple of survivors, either from attacks or who had some connection to the violence that took place. I did all of that to write the piece in that character. And structurally, it's in 5 movements, and it's based off of the Kubler-Ross cycle of grief, which is something I've become much more acquainted with doing music therapy in hospice work, because that's when people are in the grieving process like that. I'm losing my thoughts because I don't really want to talk about it. But basically, that's what the piece was about. And then it was premiered in 2018, and the plan was to make an album about it. And the album was supposed to be recorded a while ago. But then there was a global pandemic, COVID-19, which everybody remembers, I imagine. And so it got pushed back, and so it was finally happening this weekend, or last week. And on Monday, because I was flying out Wednesday, but on Monday there was another mass shooting in Louisville, and it was horrible. You could just feel the darkness going into the space. You could just feel it when you were flying into Louisville. And so the ensemble asked if they could dedicate the performance to the victims of the shooting. Apparently there were people in the audience who had some kind of direct connection to the victims, but they asked, and I said yes. I was a little uncomfortable because I didn't want it to seem any kind of opportunistic or exploitation, but it's now just a part of the history of the piece that it was here in this town during this time, and it was intense to be there, but it was really important to be there. And anyways, the recording process went great. But anyways, now I'm back in New York and able to record more regularly. So we're gonna be doing the first song. I'll actually do it in recognition to Kentucky, but and the trauma that the community of Louisville is going through. But we're going to start with Long Violent History by Tyler Childers, who he's... I can't remember the name. It's a county and starts with an L. It's on the other side of the state. But he's a Kentucky native country western musician, very much in the kind of traditional realm. And I love his music. But during 2020, when the George Floyd protests were going on, just that insanely toxic year, he wrote and recorded this album, and it's called Long Violent History. It's is it eight tracks, 8 instrumental tracks that are just straight up, Kentucky Kentucky fiddle music. Just, someone who understands the lineage, someone who they just get it. Not a single word is uttered. It's an instrumental album, but then it gets to track 9, which is Long Violent History, which is the lyrics. And so I'll read the description just on the Genius annotations from genius.com, and it says, as the only lyrical track on an otherwise instrumental album, its words carry a message made all more poignant by Childer's recognition that the majority of his listeners are rural whites, a group who tend to be conservative. Ultimately, this song serves as a call to action of its listeners to exhibit more compassion towards each other and those affected by police brutality, specifically people of color. It's specifically comparing the Black Lives Matter's protest of 2020 to the labor battle of Blair Mountain, which was a really historic conflict here in the United States between the United States government and the labor movement in West Virginia. And so the lyrics of Long Violent History go like this. It's the worst that it's been since the last time it happened. It's happening again right in front of our eyes. There's updated footage, wild speculation, tall tales and hearsay and absolute lies. It's been passed off as factual, when actually the actual causes they're awkwardly blocking the way, keeping us all from enjoying our evening, shoving its roots through the screens in our face. Now what would you get if you heard my opinion, conjecturing on matters that I ain't never dreamed in all my born days as a white boy from Hickman, based on the way that the world's been to me. It's called me belligerent, it's took me for ignorant, but it ain't never once made me scared just to be. Could you imagine just constantly worrying, kicking and fighting, begging to breathe? How many boys could they haul off this mountain, shoot full of holes, cuffed and laying in the streets, till we come into town in a stark raven anger, looking for answers and armed to the teeth? 30-06 is Peepaw's old pistol. How many, you reckon, would it be? 4 or 5? Or would that be the start of a long, violent history of tucking our tails as we try to abide? Or would that be the start of a long, violent history of tucking our tails as we try to abide? My daughter is with our nanny right now, and it's having a troubling evening, apparently. Okay. Anyways, with that being said, this is Long Violent History by Tyler Childers. Cool. So yeah, just checking again, because I'm very low tech in the technologies. I just gotta check, make sure my shit is working. Okay, make sure you can hear. Once I start talking, once it switches. Okay, cool. So yeah, just checking again, because I'm very low tech. Cool. Alright, so yeah, so this next one is into the Her track. It's called Lord is Coming. And this is also going to be featured on the Healing Sound of the People album. I'll just give a little bit of... I'll just read the description here on Genius Annotations. So it says here, Gabrielle Wilson lays into her faith on this project, and nowhere more heavily than Lord is Coming. At once searing and somber, this song serves not only as a further tribute to one of Wilson's biggest influences, Miss Lauryn Hill, but also as an indication on the state of things in our world, a warning that we may be facing the last days. She talked about the concept of the track. The idea of Lord is Coming. You hear people say, like, it's Armageddon, it's the end of the world. I really felt like there's so much happening in the world right now that we needed to be said. That's not acknowledged. I wrote the spoken word as an introduction to what the song is about. I'm happy I wrote Lord is Coming because of everything that's going on in the world right now. It needed to be said. For me, it came from a very passionate place, and music is a language everybody speaks. It brings everybody together, and that's one of those songs I think could do it. That's her speaking about her own music. So, let me find the lyrics. Actually, I don't want those. Okay, so sorry. This is going to be the remix lyrics, which are the same lyrics by her, but it also features really brilliant verse by the MC YBN Corday. So let me see if there's anything different in regards to the description of this piece. Okay, this came out in 2019. Alright, so the lyrics go 1, 2, 1. Lyrics go like this. And this is her. Every day I pray for mankind. We're all slaves to a generation socialized, and sickness is in the mind. We are habitual thinkers, substance abusers, and habitual drinkers. But free your mind, because this plug is watching from the top floor, hoping you too will fall for the illusions of a temporary high, what we think we need to get by. But are we really trying when kids are dying and depression is trending? Are these the signs of an Armageddon? We're all in denial and it's all cool until you're suicidal. We never learn from our so-called idols. We're just repeating the cycle. So, I never read the news anymore. It's hard not to feel hopeless when no one noticed the explosion came from a man whose legal gun was loaded. It's all watered down and sugar-coated. We voted, but did we really get to choose? We don't need proof that they separate us from the truth. Mothers and fathers are being separated from their youth, and they're selling the American dream and what it appears to be, but they don't teach us that wealth is unattainable with their currency. History is not my brother's story. The original founders were buried in the ground where men have planted seeds of disease, and they've justified being thieves, feeding their inner demons and blaming the minorities. It's World War III, corruption versus greed. Not you versus me, but do we ever think of the need for inner peace? They can't put a price on your soul. Don't matter your religion, right and wrong is something everybody knows. They pick and choose what's equal, who's good and who's evil, and this is the devil's world, but the Lord is coming for his people. And then she begins to sing at this moment, and it's really, really gorgeous. But the lyrics as she sings are, "We're like Daniel in the den, surrounded by these hungry lions, looking in the jaws of death. We reach for saving hands. No help will come from men. The Lord is coming." Well, the Red Sea's closing in. There's no safety in almighty horses. Can you feel the driving wind? Behold the crashing waves. The Savior's on his way. The Lord is coming. Coming, coming. Hurry, hurry. Bring us to the promised land. Glory, glory. We reach for saving hands. No help will come from men. The Lord is coming. And I'm going to edit a little bit of this, but the verse by YBN Corday goes, See, I know how it feels in a late night, swimming with the great whites, drowning in the deep waters. You got 3 daughters. Could use some resources. Nah, we just need order. I got my own bad news. Forget a reporter. Man, we ain't even safe. They want to deport us, or rather, keep us boxed in on the street corners. If you gone stop and frisk a N-word, shit, at least warn us. My dog's still on probation. They got a leash on us. Far from stupid, in fact I'm smarter than Harvard students. Sparked a movement and put an end to this garbage music. Got me thinking like, this can't be life. Man, y'all idiots. Y'all voted for the Antichrist. Living in the false reality. It's this picture gallery based on a N-words profile. We guess their salary. The lifestyle you advertise. Quite strategized. With a minimal amount, and then we maximize. Y'all, N-words. Capping with lies. How they capitalize, creating their own perception. What a massive facade. Digital marketing schemes, even broader regime. Live how you want on the internet. Who thought of this thing? Man, I'm a new man. Now I'm a new man. Needed to find a new plan. God bless America. God bless Sudan. Now I'm a new man. Needed to find a new plan. God bless America. God bless Sudan. And then her comes back in and she says, "Oh, glory, glory, we reach for saving hands. No help will come from men. The Lord is coming. 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 The Lord is coming." Ooh. It's a stunning song. It's a really, really stunning song. Listen to it. The Lord is Coming by her. The remix with Corday. The original one's great too. The only difference is there's an addition to YN Corday, who just spits. He's a wordsmith. He's a rhyme master. Don't trust my interpretation. I was just reading it, not putting any of the music into it. But the message is strong, and yeah, the lyrics are brilliant. And when you hear him rap, he's an MC. He knows what he's doing. So, alright, I'm gonna go play Her. Go. And so, with that, thank you again. My name is Dorian Wallace. I'll see you all next week. This is Dorian's Mode, where I improvise on the camera. So, alright, y'all. I should come up with some cool catchphrase to end this, right? I don't know. Anyways, peace.
Le Christ aux oliviers, Gérard de Nerval. I. Quand le Seigneur, levant au ciel ses maigres bras, sous les arbres sacrés, comme font les poètes, fut longtemps perdu dans ses douleurs muettes. Et ce jour-là trahi par des amis ingrats, il se tourna vers ceux qui l'attendaient en bas, rêvant d'être des rois, des sages, des prophètes, mais en maudit, perdu dans le sommet des bêtes, et se prit à crier « Non, Dieu n'existe pas !» Il dormait. Les amis, savez-vous la nouvelle? J'ai touché de mon front à la boue éternelle. Je suis sanglant, brisé, souffrant bien des jours. Frère, je vous trompe, à vivre, à vivre, à vivre. Le Dieu manque à l'autel, je suis là. Dieu n'est pas, Dieu n'est plus. Dieu est tout le temps des mondes.